Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I try to bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome Nick Zmierczak, the CEO of Nextian. Nick is an industry veteran with over 25 years experience designing and implementing software and systems for cloud and communication providers. During his career, he participated in and led many digital transformations, systems consolidations, and quote-to-cash projects, both domestically and internationally. Nick is currently serving as CEO of Nextian. Nick, welcome to the Top Gun Show.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you, man. Tell me a little bit, who is Nextian?
All right. Well, I am a software guy, so Nextian is a software company. We specialize in quote-to-cash solutions for cloud and communications providers. So in essence, we build software and systems helping providers grow and scale their business. We offer a complete quote-to-cash platform from quoting, pricing, and sourcing integration through service delivery all the way to billing integration and portals. But we also do professional services, one-off projects, depending really on customer needs. I would say that the vast majority, 80% of the work we do is on Salesforce and within Salesforce ecosystem, but we also have some expertise in other areas like Microsoft Dynamics integrations, special integrations with billing and network monitoring, as well as various portal frameworks.
Very nice, very nice. What a great niche. You talked about growth, okay? So elaborate a little bit about that.
All right. So basically, from a very broad quote-to-cash perspective, we've identified the 4 pillars of growth for cloud and communications providers. And everything that we do, it might be a project or a software feature, relates to these pillars somehow, right? So number 1 is basically selling more faster, right? And I know it sounds cliche, but it's not only about quick generation of shiny quotes, right? It's a lot of moving parts. It's about integrating quoting process with pricing and sourcing and multiple vendors and providers, especially important in the channel, right? And reselling, right? It's then enabling customers to purchase and new products and new features online, right? It is, about providing APIs for pricing, quoting, and selling, right? And last but not least, it's also about enabling providers to order on behalf of customers, right? And in the channel, this is a very complex problem with a lot of moving parts. So number 2 is about service delivery, right? Automating service delivery, coding as much of the processes as we can, reducing number of manual touches, which usually causes errors, right? But also things like automated scheduling of delivery and forecasting. A lot of companies still do that manually, which is amazing, and communicating with customers and partners. Number 3 is support, right? It kind of follows the process. So sales, service delivery, support, and I mean, monitoring and ticketing have been around for a long time, but there is some interesting new trends emerging, like AI ticket routing to basically have best match between, the problem and technician serving it, and also proactive monitoring or predictive monitoring, where we look, for issues before they really even surface, right? So that was number 3, and number 4, last but not least, is increasing customer lifetime value, right? So how do we automatically detect upgrade opportunities based on the infrastructure and basically, upsell the customer when there is actually a real need, and then drive revenue and customer spend long term?
Wow, that's a lot of ground to cover. You must be a smart guy to be able to automate that and put this software program together. Who's your typical customers? Do you go after a certain industry, a niche? Who's buying from you?
So yeah, we basically, all kinds of service providers, they're typically B2B. So cloud software, right? Cloud infrastructure and communications. So pretty much anything ranging from hosted databases and CRMs, right, through servers, co-location, all the way to access, right? Really anyone that offers a subscription or a term-based service involving either access or computing infrastructure or software is a good fit for us. You know, one of the more interesting cases, I think, we have two prospects that are actually selling or planning to sell EV chargers for cars or electric vehicles as a service, right? Which, when you think about it, it's very similar to building and leasing fiber, right? So you have to, you know, get a permit, build the construction, right? Turn it up, and then basically you have a usage-based billing, except that for EVs, you're selling kilowatts rather than bandwidth. So some of these projects are actually quite interesting.
Well, that's great. That's great. So just sum it up in a simple way. There's a lot of software companies out there. Why Nextian? What are your key differentiators?
Well, we specialize in cloud and communications, right? Period. So we're not like a generic Salesforce consulting company or a software shop, right? And same goes to our, you know, to our products, right? They're laser focused on particular domains. So, you know, we support all the things that cloud and communications providers need natively, right? Without any modifications like MACD quotes or integration with monitoring. And that's all important, but I think that the most important thing is really the quote to cash approach, right? So when you think about quote to cash, it's about the flow, right? It's not about the silo, like, you know, we use this for ticketing and this for billing, right? It's about how do we make the information flow, right? And there is a research paper by McKinsey and Company, and if anyone wants to take a look at it, please feel free to contact me, which basically states that taking quote-to-cash approach and flow approach to systems and software enables companies to grow up to 4 times faster than their competitors. And I think that's telling, and I agree that basically companies who take that approach to building their systems and their processes will be more successful than their competition long term. And that's what we're trying to facilitate.
That's great, man. So quote to cash. If you're looking for quote to cash, contact Nick today. Now, Nick, I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun show. I know you know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now. Why don't you tell the viewers a fun, little-known fact about yourself?
Okay, so a little-known fact is my last name, right? So it's a very hard last name, and it's actually even a very hard last name in Polish, right? And the reason for that name is that that name was actually changed in 1800s after one of the Polish uprisings against the Russians to basically just confuse the Russians who were chasing my great grandfather. So that's why it's weird, but I kept it, you know, the family kept it. It's even though it's difficult.
Well, Nick, I hate to break it to you, but we've got several Russians that are following the Top Gun show. So I hope it's okay. I hope you're going to be okay, my friend.
No, it's absolutely okay.
All right. Well, Nick, hey, thanks for carving out time out of your busy schedule, being on the Top Gun show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Likewise.
Thanks for watching, everybody.